Hello, good evening. It is the 6th of March 2024. I apologise, I did not do a video yesterday for the 5th of March 2024 for my Lent conditions of aiming to do a video every day during the 40 days and 40 nights of Lent. Now, to be honest, again, yesterday I was just so tired that when I got back after homeschooling my son, I literally just crashed and burned. He was adamant that he would not go to bed without me. And that's the one thing personally that is still sort of causing a lot of issues for me because the only time I ever seem to get anything done is when my children are either at school or asleep. And I have to honestly say that because during the day I'm homeschooling my 8-year-old because of his autism. But one of the problems he has with his autism is he's constantly sensory processing and constantly sensory seeking. And so he won't go to bed on his own. Sometimes I'm really, really lucky. And if I can tire him out enough during the day, he will do so. But it is really, really hard for me to do that. So, like, today, one of the things, again, I was speaking to my counsellor about was how stressful I find the fact that he is so dependent on me. And after the issues I've had in my own life, I don't want, if possible, he's always going to have autism, but I don't want him to be constantly dependent on other people. I want him to be able to have his own life. And I myself find that even as an adult at 40, I'm still very dependent on other people's needs and support. But that's only because as a child, I wasn't encouraged or taught how to be independent. So as much as I've said, yes, it's very important to have that community aspect within your life, it's also important to have that time to yourself and learn how to be independent and learn how to cope with being on your own. I don't mean like on your own all the time, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. I mean, I know that works for some people, it doesn't work for everyone. I'm not saying become a recluse or a hermit. I'm saying that it is really, really difficult and challenging when you've been so dependent on somebody for so long that even as a child, when you have to end up cutting those apron strings, so for like children, it's when they start school. And I think it's in Finland, they don't start school till they're 7. And I fully support that. I think, personally, starting school at a younger age isn't always healthy. And yet in Japan, children walk to school from the age of 3 and 5. And so again, they're taught differently how to be self-sufficient, how to integrate in society. But the culture over there is so different to in the United Kingdom. You know, in Japan, that if you were to ever harm a child, that your life would be over. They wouldn't think twice about killing you. Whereas in the UK and, more European and Western society, although there is the crime for doing that, justice is blind. And, so the likelihood of people getting caught or anything happening isn't going to happen. Whereas, like I said, in places like Japan, because children are so respected to a degree over there, that, they all have their school uniform on, everyone knows who they are, everyone knows what school they're going to, that if you were to ever harm a child, I mean, it's the worst thing in the world to harm a child. It doesn't matter what part of the world you live in. But I just find, in the UK, it's different. We have changed as a society over the years, but we're not shoving children down coal mines anymore. But we're more than happy to have children abroad dig coal for us and cobalt and, make clothes in factories from the age of 3 or 7 or whatever, but not our own children. So in a way, our children have lost that kind of ability to be independent. And I'm not saying, like in Interview with the Vampire, by the time you were 24, you were classed as a man. You would have probably been married. You probably would have had your own children, your own family. But there's not really the need for that in today's society. But at the same time, I don't want my children not being self-sufficient or supportive. And I think as well as adults, we still need to learn how to be independent to a degree, but also have that social aspect and be able to support each other on a community-led basis. So over the last sort of 24 hours, it has been a lot more encouragement about, being self-sufficient, being more independent. Here is your homework, go and do it on your own. Don't expect mommy to sit there and do it for you, or, stand by you for 24/7. And give him his dues, he has done that over the last sort of 24 hours. He has been so dedicated to self-direct study that it's great. And it's been nice for me as well, because it's given me that little bit of downtime to do what I need to get done or feel I need to get done. And again, that's why it's so important as an individual to have that time for yourself. And, and it's really, really helped, I think, both of us, for him to realise, what? I do need to learn a little bit more about personal space and people, but I know that that's not something that he's going to pick up overnight. I mean, he's 8 and he still doesn't understand that when mommy puts her hand out, it means stop, or it means, that's how far away you have to be from me because I don't want you that close. He still is very hugs, kisses, wanting to hold your hand, wanting to be with you 24/7. And I think it's great, that children have that level of affection and trust. But at the same time, as they get older, they have to realise that people need their own personal space. And also, they're not everyone who's going to want to be loving and affectionate towards you is going to be doing it without there being any malice. So today is the 6th of March 2024. So today is for the 5th and the 6th. And I'm going to say goodnight now because I am literally mentally and physically exhausted. And I just want to curl up into a ball and go to sleep. So thank you. And I will speak to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.